JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 16th of December 2022. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation. It should not be considered as such and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us, guys. So now then, let's jump into the charts very quickly. So yesterday we had a interesting day, I would say. A bit of a decline across some major indices. But yeah, looking at Nikkei first here, I can say that, hey, look, I mean, we fell back below this 21-day EMA. I talked about this and I said that as long as we stay above it, I'll aim higher, but we fell back below it. And we moved towards the 200-day EMA, but what I said before that, in order for me to get comfortable with further declines, I need to see a drop somewhere below this 27,415 so far. I didn't get that, so yeah, I am kind of just going to continue observing this one because again, it might just start oscillating around these EMAs, so this is what I don't want to see, but hey, well, the market doesn't always do what I wanted it to do. So long story short, with Nikkei, I'm still looking for this level in order to go lower. Shanghai Composite, this one's an interesting one because look, I mean, we drifted lower. It kind of came close to this 21-day and the 100-day EMAs, also this upside support line. So logically speaking, I mean, if this upside line continues to hold, then we could see a nice rebound and a push higher. However, what I prefer here in order to get comfortable with, let's say, the upside, a push above this 200-day EMA would be needed. This is somewhere around that 3,213 level. So if we get a push above that, then yeah, we might expect this one maybe to go back to the upside. As long as it's here below this 200-day EMA but above this upside line, I'm gonna just observe the price action, guys. Not gonna do anything. If it starts breaking this 3,145 level together with this upside line, together with all the EMAs here, remaining EMAs, then yep, that's great for the bears, and we could see this one sliding further. ASX 200 drifted lower, of course, understandable. US yesterday declined. This one kind of followed suit. And yeah, we fell below the 7,147 territory. I spoke about that level this week, and we stayed below it. So in a way, there's a chance that we could see a further move lower as long as we stay below this hurdle. If we do that, then yes, I will go towards the downside, towards the 7,083 territory, or even below this, towards this. This is my initial target, the 6,994 zone, around the 200 and the 108 EMAs. For the upside, now this is where I think I need to adjust my levels on the upside. Previously, I talked about the 7,269. I think it's time to go for this one, and at the moment I will probably stick to the 7,226 because that's the high of this week, and I think they will, yeah, well, not I think, but it will stay as the highest point of this week. So yep, if we do push above it next week, then this might attract a few more buyers, because at the same time we would break this short-term tentative downside resistance line taken from the high of the 1st of December. Now guys, jumping into the US indices, NASDAQ 100, look at this one. We have moved nicely to the downside. And okay, ignoring the fact that, yesterday we had some data in general. Yesterday was a bit of a roller coaster ride, of course. We had, it was the central bank day yesterday, I would say, because look, I think that not I think, but we started off with from Europe, we started off with the SNB, the Swiss National Bank, and the interest rate in their interest rate decision. So it went by 50 basis points to 1%. Also, then we had, of course, the UK, the BOE, which also increased its interest rate by 50 basis points, and it went through to 3.5. And yeah, the ECB, of course, the ECB also increased their interest rate as expected, and it went to 2.5, also by 50 basis points. So basically just kind of following the Fed, So talk about individuality, yeah, but basically it's just kind of following the Fed, and that's it. So yeah, we had some data as well from the U.S. We had the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index, which declined. It kind of went well. It failed to meet expectations. It went lower. So yeah. Also, the retail sales disappointed in the U.S. Minus 0.6 on a month-on-month basis. So yeah, a bunch of data that didn't really sparkle well with the market, and of course the ECB press conference, which was excuse me. The ECB press conference, which kind of showed that the ECB is ready to continue. Well, not ready, but is prepared to continue with the hikes. So yeah, that didn't really work well with DAX, to which I'll get in a bit. But look, coming back to Nasdaq. Okay, so here, just if let's say we purely from the technical perspective, you can see that, for example, we broke this upside line. I talked about this and I said that, hey, if we rebound, great. I mean, we could see a nice move back up, but if we start breaking this upside line taken from the low of the 4th of November, then my next target is the lower side of the broadening triangle, which we've managed to reach. So good result. I would say great. What's next? Next is the fact that yes, if we fell below the lower side of this broadening triangle, then it means that we could go further south. And to be honest, I am kind of leaning towards the downside as well, because look, I'm aiming for this other upside support line right here, taken from the low of the 13th of October. So yeah, if we stay below the lower side of the broadening triangle, I'm gonna aim for this upside line. But of course, if that gets broken, then yeah, further declines are possible. In terms of the upside on this one, well, this is a tricky bit. First of all, need to get rid of this upside line. No longer needed. And another thing, I think it's let me just get rid of this arrow here. And I think that if you're willing to kind of consider maybe a move higher, then probably the better option is to wait for a push back above the 11,700 territory, somewhere around here. At the same time, we would climb back above the 21-day EMA. The S&P 500. So we drifted lower, and look at this. I talked about this, and I said that hey, we might be in the range, yep, we did break the lower side of it. So the question here is, can we go further south? Well, at the moment, the cash index is sitting at around 3,900 levels. So below the lower side here of this range. If it stays there, then yes, I'm gonna lean more towards the downside. But if we start pushing back up and we stay above this 3,911.12 territory, then maybe there could be a bit of hope here for the buyers to step in, and we could maybe see this one traveling up. And in terms of next level, I think this is the one to watch here, the 3,990. Look at this. I mean, it acted as a fantastic area of resistance, support, then also support. And yeah, this could be my next target here if we do climb back above this 3,912 territory and stay above it. Now, Dow Jones Industrial Average. This one's a little bit different, and you can see why. I mean, look, we've drifted lower. We have moved nicely back to this downside line. And look at this, guys. I mean, I talked about this theory before, where I said that, hey, whenever we break some sort of a trend line, we always kind of revisit it from the other side. And well, this is exactly what happened. I mean, this theory so far works. So whenever you see, let's say in this case we have a breakout here, a break to the upside, you know, it moves higher, everybody's getting excited, but then let's say somebody missed the rally, somebody missed the move, and you know, this is where it's a good opportunity, potentially a good opportunity for the buyers to step in. However, given the circumstances right now, this is where we have to be very careful, and this is like, you know, although S&P and Nasdaq are kind of leaning maybe a little bit more towards the downside in the near term, but let's put it this way. Even if Nasdaq, for example, goes lower here, it still has the potential to rebound from this upside line. So there's an upside potential again. With the S&P, it might give us like something like a false breakout on the weekly chart, for example, and it could drift back up. So it could, let's say, drift lower right now. I mean, you know, end up going somewhere to maybe this little hurdle, this inside swing high of the 8th of November, also is marked by good support here. So near the 3,859, so it may end up testing this area, maybe rebounding back up, and then, you know, ending up moving back about this 3,912. Okay, I get it. I'm trying to maybe, you know, to predict the future way ahead of myself here. But look, the reason is that, like I said, Dow is the kind of indicating that, you know, it's not really willing to give up yet, or should I say the bulls here are not really willing to give up yet, unless we start breaking this downside line and we start falling, let's say, somewhere below these remaining EMAs, the 100 and the 200. And I'm keeping also an eye here on this 32,514 level. But again, we'll get to that point later. But let's say, like I said, in case this breaks the downside line, then, well, this is where we could go lower, and we could go, you know, further south, and this is where maybe it could come in line with these two. But again, the S&P is a little bit more bearish. Nasdaq is cautiously bearish, I would say, at the moment, and even cautiously bullish. Even I would say not even cautiously bearish, cautiously bullish, because there is still hope that we could rebound from this upside line. And Dow is probably the most positive from all of them. And look, let me just adjust a few lines here. Look, keep this in mind. Again, like I said, if we start breaking the downside line and we fall below all of the remaining EMAs, yep, ignore. We will probably go lower. But if we start like holding up here and maybe we rebound, now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for a few more buyers. The German index, DAX, there we go. Look at this beautiful breakout here. I mean, I talked about this, 14,200. We violated it, and look at what happened here. We've sold off beautifully, and my next target was around here, near the 13,950. Oh, and by the way, if you remember, in the beginning of this week, I have drawn this little thing here, the Fibonacci, like this. Okay, we got a violation here, you know, to the upside. We had a kind of false breakout. So in a way, you could say, hey, maybe that's not really very accurate. And well, it's probably you'll be right, you know. So it's kind of trying to see something you want to see, but actually maybe it just doesn't really, you know, actually work well. But either way, guys, I mean, okay, it's Friday. I'll take this little kind of thing here for myself, so I'll be happy about it. And basically, look, I mean, we managed to reach, I think that we after hours, I think ended up reaching, let me just 13,957 approximately. So there we go. Yeah, that's a good result. So look, mission accomplished. I've reached my target. So now the question here is what's going to happen further. Now, ideally, I would like to see a test of this 200-day EMA. However, this is quite an important area, quite an important barrier, and I think I'm going to steal this highlighted territory in order to mark this one. So this is quite an important barrier, and look, today's Friday. Don't be surprised if we either we see something spectacular, or just it's going to be very calm, just because we had already kind of a crazy Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. In terms of economic data for today, the only thing that I can see here is that the UK released its retail sales together with the PPI output numbers. Then we have the preliminary numbers from Europe coming out with the manufacturing services. CPI numbers are coming out from Europe. Okay, that's going to be quite interesting. Okay. Now, in terms of the US, nothing major, to be honest. It might be a quiet one. So I think it's kind of Europe that's going to be driving today. So we only have the Canadian wholesale numbers coming out, and new housing prices in the price index. Anyway, look, at this point here, I would say if you've missed the breakout here, and you missed this drop, I talked about this in the beginning of this week and throughout this whole week that I'm waiting for a clear breakout here. If you missed it, look, I think that it's not really worth chasing right now. I think that it's just better to leave this one and probably focus on something else. And I believe that there are a bunch of other instruments which you can focus on for today. And let's say just try not to overtrade here. Look, I mean, it might not present anything here. If it starts falling below the 13,950 territory right here, then my next target, of course, is the 200-day EMA and the 100-day EMA. But then I'll kind of just take it from there. DXY, the dollar index, beautiful reversal here. And look, I talked about this and I said that if we stay below the 104.11, then I'll continue aiming lower. We moved back above it. So look, at this point, I don't really like this one. Again, maybe it's kind of forming something around here, maybe something like this. I mean, honestly, I don't know. It just kind of it's not really picture perfect. I think that maybe it is forming a falling channel. Let me just try to see if this is going to be correct or not. I mean, it might be very, very subjective. It's not really objective. So if I do this, will it be the case? Okay, kinda ish, I would say. Yeah, so look, let me just try to draw this again, because this is not really not very attractive here. Yeah, something like this, basically, roughly, guys. Okay, look, if this is the case, if this is a falling channel pattern, okay, we might consider that. So still, if you remember, I talked about the upside scenario, and that's from the break of this 200-day EMA and together with the 21-day EMA. And actually, look at where it is, near the upper side of this potential falling channel. So in a way, there is kind of all the stars are aligning here, and in a way, it seems like, yes, if we do break this area, then maybe this could open the door towards some higher levels. For the downside, look, I think that it's logical to kind of probably move this level here and kind of mark the current lowest point of December, a drop below the current lowest point of December, which is roughly around the 103.45 level, and we could then aim for the lower side of this falling channel. Gold, beautiful move to the downside. And look, I talked about this upside line here yesterday. I said that, hey, maybe this is a rising wedge within a channel here, so we kind of got that breakout. So yeah, that's great. So we broke the upside line. It broke to the downside. We're seeing now a bit of a retracement. Look, I think that as long as it stays below this upside line, I think that now it's the time to aim for the lower side of this rising channel, guys. So at the moment, of course, if you're very kind of, if you don't like trading within the pattern here, certainly wait for a break of the lower of one of the sides here of this pattern, and then you can consider the next short-term directional move. But I would say this way, that I think that we might stick to something like this for now, where we could see a bit of a rebound here, and if it holds below this upside line, another decline here could be possible. WTI oil, we are near this downside line still. So again, the same analysis is valid, still the same as same thing that I'm looking at. So I need to see a break of this downside line and a push above the 21-day EMA in order to go higher. Simple as that. For the downside, I'll take a very conservative approach here, and we'll wait for a drop below the 70 territory. That's it for me. 70, and yeah, I'll go lower. Bitcoin, not doing much, to be honest. Yeah, it broke the steeper downside line. Now it's aiming for this other less steeper downside line taken from the high of the 31st of May, which coincides with the 100-day EMA as well. So in a way, kind of great. Look, if you are looking at some higher levels, I think that it's better to maybe wait for a push above the 100-day EMA. But the fact, if you're a little bit more adventurous, I would say, look, the fact that as long as we stay above the 21-day EMA, there's a good chance we could go towards the 100-day EMA, and so on and so on. So that's why I don't have any levels at the moment here. I am just kind of sticking to the EMAs, and again, it's not, of course, it's not a guarantee. It's not, nothing is a guarantee here, because it might end up oscillating around the 21-day EMA. So for example, if it falls below the 21-day EMA, normally, logically, you should be more bearish than bullish, but again, it could start oscillating, and it might not lead us anywhere. So that's why, for example, for the downside, probably I will have a level, and for the downside, I'm kind of keeping an eye on something like here. 15,500 territory. A drop below it may lead to some lower levels. Now, guys, jumping into a few pairs, AUD, USD. There we go. Boom. There we go. My rising veg pattern kind of worked out nicely. Look, I'm quite happy about this, and but I'll get to the point to one pair which I'm very, very happy about, and I think you probably know which one, but anyway, it involves a rising veg as well. Look, we broke the lower side. We fell below the 21-day EMA. We're currently resting on the 100-day EMA, so that's interesting. Look, if you're looking for some lower levels, I think that it's maybe better to wait for a move somewhere maybe below this territory, the 0.6680, something like that. A nice drop below that area may attract more sellers into the game, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. Like I said, yeah, we can get rid of this lower side of the rising veg. Now, if you're looking for some higher levels, then probably a push above this barrier, the 0.6798, could be a good option. However, let me, let me, I think, reiterate that I think I'm going to stick to this level instead. There we go. This is much better. The 0.6814, roughly around here. So a nice area of resistance, support. So if we clear that one to the upside here, then I'll go higher. AUD JPY, just a quick update. We drifted lower yesterday. Look, I talked about this idea here where I focused on the 92.15 level, which is around that 200-day EMA, and I said that in order for me to go lower within this descending triangle pattern, is I need to see a drop at least below this 200-day EMA in this level as well. Well, we're currently resting on that, so we're not really getting that good move to the downside here. In general, I am keeping an eye on this potential idea of a descending triangle. So according to all the tier rules, these tend to break to the downside, so we need to see a clear breakout here. But I thought that maybe, hey, on this one specifically, I'll take advantage of this scenario, because I like this fact that here we have a 200-day EMA inside, so maybe it could work out nicely, and we could see a move below this. And if we do see a move below this, then I'll lean towards the lower side of this potential triangle, descending triangle pattern. AUD CHF, boom, boom, guys, there we go. Look at this. I talked about this whole week, and then There we go. We got that move. We got that breakout, and there we go. We moved below the lower side of the range. I mean, this was a bit of a pain, I would say, because it was kind of near this lower side. And I was saying in the beginning of this week, I was saying that I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside here, but a confirmation break is needed. And there we go. I got my breakout, and look at this. I mean, my target got reached. Great. 0.6212. Lowest point of October. Now we're currently resting near it. So if you're looking for some further declines, a drop below that hurdle is needed. And in terms of the next target, well, this is where the interesting bit comes in. I think we can start looking at something like around here. Let me just, sorry, not this one, but this one right there. There we go. The lowest point, oh, sorry, yeah, the lowest point of May of 2020. Or we could go for a another target right here. Just let me put this one. It's very, very close. There we go. Maybe this one. Yeah, there we go. 0.6065. That's the low of the 16th of April of 2020. So good potential targets below, but confirmation break is still needed. So I'm not going to really do anything if it continues to trade around here, because look, what could happen as well, and I'm probably trying to predict the future here again. But look, if this continues to hold, if this hurdle continues to hold, and we see, let's say, a bit of a retracement here to the upside, hey, maybe this is going to form a beautiful bearish flag. Let's say if we just stay here today, and maybe on Monday and Tuesday we just drift a little bit higher here. Well, if that's the case, then, like I said, yeah, I will consider this as a possible bearish flag or pennant or whatever is going to show me here. But in general, it's going to be, could be a bearish indication. But either way, the breakout would still be needed here below this hurdle in order to go lower. But look, let's see how it's going to play out. Again, maybe it's not going to even be that, you know, but trying to, like I said, trying to play Nostradamus here. NZD-CHF, beautiful rebound from this upside line. First of all, beautiful test of it, and beautiful rebound. So what's next? First of all, of course, we also broke below this hurdle. I talked about this yesterday, 0.5934. And so I said that if we break below it, I'll go lower, but only up until here. Mission accomplished. Well, team, we're not heading home yet, but we're observing. We're observing because now the question is here, can we see a break of this upside line? If we can, I'll go lower. For the upside, I will, well, this is where the tricky bit for me comes in. Now, of course, we could start looking at, you know, some higher levels if we do push back above this hurdle, above the 0.5934. If we do that, okay, I'll get a little bit more excited with the upside, and I'll go here. But of course, initially I'll go towards the 200-day EMA, but then I'll go here towards the 0.6020. But if that gets cleared, now that's where it could become, yep, more interesting, and we could see, you know, a further move north like this. Excuse me. I use the CAD, guys. There we go. Beautiful move. Look at this. Beautiful move from this 21-day EMA, and we came back closer to the this 1.3685 level. So I talked about this level the whole week. So yeah, if we break it, great, I'll go higher. If we struggle, if we continue to trade somewhere above this upside line but below the 1.3685, I'll remain on the kind of neutral side for now, or not neutral side, but cautiously bullish, because overall maybe we're forming like a, you know, ascending triangle pattern here. But you know, but at the moment we have to wait. We have to wait for that confirmation breakout. USD/JPY, there we go. Haven't looked at this one for quite a while, to be honest. And I have to extend this downside line in order to see what's happening here. Well, I previously had talked about this level, but I think it's time to lower it down a little. I am interested in the upside here. However, I will take everything with a pinch of salt a little bit, because again, we are getting a hold up near this downside line, and yes, we had a good push yesterday, but we're currently getting a hold up near this downside line. Okay, if it, you know, if it pushes above this 21-day EMA, for example, shown as the yellow line, great, I'll start considering the upside. But if it struggles, then maybe, you know, it could drift back down again, and if it falls below the 200-day EMA, we could start aiming for the 133.63 level, and if that gets clear, the forthcoming lower low would be confirmed. GBP USD, there we go, guys. There we go. My prayers have been heard about the rising veg idea here, and there we go. Look at this beautiful breakout. I mean, I talked about this level here, and I talked about this. Okay, remember yesterday I talked about the idea here whenever you have a scenario like this, when you have a candle, let's say with a big tail here to the upside, but then the second candle is, and its body is within the candle's tail, this first candle's tail, then you can get like something like this basically. And well, perfect textbook. Well, actually, I think yeah, it's a textbook. Can't remember exactly what it's called. I need to refresh my memory on that. But look, we had that beautiful breakout here. It was also like a rising veg. Confirmed it, dropped lower, moved closer to this 208 EMA. Now, to be honest, I'm aiming for the lower side of this bigger rising veg. That's my kind of initial target. But of course, initially I'll aim for the 208 EMA. If that gets cleared, then it's the lower side of this bigger rising veg. GBP CAD, beautiful decline as well. Look at this, guys. I think I'm getting here way too many lines, and I think that's a little bit obstructing the view. So I think this has to. Well, actually, let's not get rid of it. Let's recycle. Always recycle, guys. There's a hidden message for you. Yeah. And this level doesn't work. No, it didn't work. I have to admit that. Yep, unfortunately, not all my predictions work out very well. But look, one thing for sure is this 1.6843. Somehow it's providing fantastic resistance. It kind of provided that resistance for 3 days. So yeah, if we clear it to the upside, then I'll go higher. Simple as that. For now, I'm leaning towards the downside, to be honest, and my next target is the 1.6437 near the 21-day EMA, near this upside support line taken from the low of the 26th of September. Now, EuroCAD, of course, yesterday is the big event. ECB, I mean, they continued to, they lifted the interest rates and continue saying that, hey, maybe there's going to be more, blah, 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 and stuff like that. So kind of it went nicely here with the buyers. Look at this fantastic move here on EuroCAD. And if you remember, I kept on talking about this situation where I said that, hey, probably a lot of people here are already kind of hoping maybe to see a bit of a retracement, some sort of a move lower. Like, for example, GBP CAD moved lower, Euro CAD does not move lower. So as you can see how well Euro is holding up right now, and it's, of course, well, it should be, because I mean, since kind of dropping, a lot. I'll go to EURUSD in a bit. Since it's kind of falling below, below parity on EURUSD. I mean, I think yeah, it's time for it to recover a little bit. So, and look. In general, I was saying that I'm targeting these two levels here, the 1.4630, 1.4646, the highest point of February and of 2022, and the highest point of December of 2021. Good potential area for resistance. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to continue targeting that, and I'm not seeing that reversal yet, a reversal signal. So I might assume that it could continue traveling higher. If it starts reversing sharply and drops, well, to be honest, I mean, you cannot predict everything. So if it drops here, that's fine. I will readjust my analysis, and I'll have to maybe then look at lower levels. But again, we are not really getting that reversal signal yet. So this is where my issue is with this pair, and it can continue moving higher, because a lot of traders right now are seeing this one maybe more to the downside, and in a way, like since our last this reversal, like a nice beautiful 13 point here, 13 decimal points here to the upside. Okay, that's quite a significant move, guys. I mean, and of course, like I said, a lot of people are waiting for a reversal here to back to the downside, but at the moment the trend is to the upside, and it could continue still going. I mean, we have seen this. It's an unpleasant moment if you are short, but we have to admit that it is how it is right now. So just kind of I'm aiming for this territory first, and then I'll take it from there. Euro NZD, beautiful move to the upside here. Look at this. I mean, talked about this, and I said that wait for that confirmation break. And whenever we have something like that, a prolonged like channel or something like that, the breakout is always sweet. Honestly, it's like you get this breakout. It's fantastic. We managed to reach my target here, the 1.6655. That was actually my initial target, and then I said that look, I'll aim for the 1.6845, which I wouldn't say that we of course obviously we haven't reached it yet, but I would say that there is a good possibility we could, and maybe actually by the end of this week. So, which is today. So let's see if we can reach that. I mean, currently we're sitting above the 100-day EMA, so I am leaning more towards the upside here because we're above all of the EMAs right now, and this could continue to attract more buyers. Euro JPY, haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but previously when I looked at it, that's why I have to move my arrow a little bit. I talked about this downside line. I said that I need to see a break of it. We got initially, like this week, a few breaks here, but didn't really work well. So you know, we're kind of like, then I was hoping to see maybe something better, and there we go. We got something better yesterday, and we got this nice move here, not only above this downside line, but also above the 145.64 level right here, which previously acted as a good area of resistance, support, resistance, and again, it was the resistance barrier, but we cleared it and we went higher. So as long as we stay above it, I'm going to aim for my next target, 148.40. And finally, EURUSD, guys, very quickly, there we go, beautiful move. Look at this. Upper side of the rising channel got tested, got broken, and we drifted back below it. So kind of we respected it in a way, in its own way, let's say, of respect. Because look, I mean, we broke it, but then still the bears brought the pair back below it, and we remained lower. So to be honest, I am kind of leaning a little bit more to the downside here. But what I would like to see here, and look how well these levels played out yesterday. I spoke about these levels, the 1.0619 and the 1.0595. Okay, this is beautiful. We drifted lower, tested this 1.0595, and then we rebounded and pushed back up, and ended up moving back with this 1.0619. So, what's next? So I would say if we drop again below the 1.0619, I will go to the downside, and especially I'll get more excited with the downside if we fall below the 1.0595 right here. Let me put in an arrow. Something like that. If in terms of the upside, well, I'll stick to the 1.0695 territory, to be honest. I mean, yes, we violated yesterday, and it's near the upper side of the this rising channel. If we clear both of that, then yes, guess what? More buyers could join in, and we could ignore the whole rising channel idea. So, but I'm currently leaning a little bit more towards the downside. However, a confirmation break is needed for me, because if it stays somewhere around here today, it's no good for me. I mean, it's just gonna be there, and like I'm not gonna be, you know, it's not really, like I said, it's not trading then. But if it starts breaking one of these levels, then great, I will start looking at some lower levels. And again, this is with me probably trying to see wedges everywhere. Maybe, again, not ideal, but maybe. So, guys, okay, I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching, listening. I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your likes, your comments, everything. I really, really appreciate that. It really helps me a lot. So, just to kind of know that, hey, maybe what I'm doing is good. Maybe, you know, you're enjoying it. So, well, hopefully, you know, but anyway, I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today. Don't overtrade. It's Friday, guys. And again, we might, due to the lack of, let's say, news, we might get those one-way traffics, and if you are scalping, then don't be surprised, for example, if it doesn't, let's say, go back down or something like that. We might see some sort of a continuation to the whole European news yesterday. So again, you know, the traders who missed out on yesterday's move, they might, you know, start jumping in today, and be careful with that. So we might not see, let's say, those maybe big reversals or something. We might see like some one-way traffic. But yeah, have a beautiful trading day. Have a wonderful weekend as well, and I'll see you. Oh, and Monday, guys, Monday, I'll see if I can do Monday, because again, do have an important seminar to attend. So I hope I will be able to do the morning video, but if not, then don't be mad too much on me. Then I'll resume on Tuesday. However, like I said, we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to do the video. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.